Greetings. I wanted to talk about the recent online conversation that's going on with the heading what the mainstream hasn't been telling you, or the mainstream news hasn't been telling you, or the media hasn't been telling you. And I think it's important to lay out possibly how that conversation or argument is flawed. Firstly, we need to understand that the news or news organizations are always backed up by another organization which provide the financial and human resources for them. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that it's a great thing, but a news organization will always represent the agenda of the organization and supported by financially. Now, this organization that supports the media may be political, ideological, country-wise, like a national television station or what's or not. So that is to say that I'm not defending the news and its flaws here. It's more to point out how the news operates. And that's the beauty of social media, at least how it is imagined in the late 90s or in the early 2000s. How they imagined it was the Wikipedia of today. That's how they imagined the internet to become. And that includes social media as well. But unfortunately, what people fail to realize is that social media is exactly there to highlight, to sustain the existence of issues on the mainstream through social media. And so what you make trends. And so if you've been talking about laughing puppies, someone's great outfit at some award, and then someone's great pass at a sports event, that's what's going to trend. All right. So this what they haven't been telling you. Oh, Yemen is going through this humanitarian crisis. The news has been covering this up. I feel like that's exaggerated because at the end of the day, it really wasn't what the news hasn't been telling you. It was what you weren't paying attention to. And I think it's very important to examine the underlying causes of these kind of phenomena in the world. It's important, of course, to help out or to try to help out. But, an important question is what if you knew? What if you knew this was going on in Yemen throughout these whole 5 years? What have you done? Right? What would you have done? Would you have, I don't know, liked a page or followed a page, liked a post, changed your profile picture, made it black, made it the color of Yemen's flag? I mean, what would you have really done? And I think that's an important question to ask for yourself before going about and saying, oh my God, they haven't been telling me this, how dare they, and all that. And another thing is that once again, you're ruining the brilliance of social media, at least, or how it was imagined to be. It was imagined to be a hub of connectedness that made people more compassionate, more caring. But it feels like it's a home of quick fixes. It's nice that the information is being provided and fundraising is being done for the crisis in Yemen. But the underlying cause is the way our geopolitics operates. It's interference in other people countries' politics. The Western's interference in the Middle East and Africa and Latin America, and even with the news, I'll point out that some were intentionally more covered than the others because the message was wanted to spread across. For example, the Arab Spring. So please hold yourself back and admit responsibility, at least on social media. At least the issue wasn't out there because it was covered under a pile of a lot of things, a lot of other things, probably nonsense, but I'll let you be the judge of that. I mean, what has been trending the past 5 years? Go over it. And the Yemeni war has been happening the whole time. And one reason that you can't really blame the news is if you go onto the major news organizations, if you go onto their social media pages, YouTube pages, and so on, if you go to YouTube of BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, France 24, just take these four. Go to their YouTube page, their video section, go on the search tab and search Yemen. You'll find several news pieces that have been done, documentaries that have been done, crying out of help that has been done of the crisis that was happening. A documentary that was done 3 years ago. And so it was out there. So admit responsibility. Admit that you are the facilitator of what happens on social media, what the people hear about and what they don't. Once again, it isn't what the news hasn't been telling you, it is what you haven't been paying attention to. And so now that you've started, the best way to continue is first get educated. Once again, the nature of our geopolitics plays a lot of roles in this. So I don't know if, staying aware is a good thing, but how much, again, is that going to help? How much really? It's more about setting goals to get to positions of power so that you can make an impact about how our world is run, so that we are more human beings than corrupt politicians, than oppressing powers. There's a lot to look into, and I hope you'll read on more about it. You'll put down that phone and read more articles, read more studies, watch more documentaries, and so on. I think that's a better way anyway. Thank you for watching.